everybody. Welcome to our burning bowl ceremony. Right now I am burning some cinnamon to kind of cleanse the area. So if you have anything like sage or cinnamon or something like that, now would be a good time to pull it out and burn it and just cleanse your area. Just get ready for opening yourself up to let things go. So, before we really get into it, I want to make sure that you have everything that you need. I have here a flame, a candle, right? You're going to need that. You're also going to need a receptacle for your ashes and some emergency water nearby in case there's an issue. You will also need some small slips of paper like this and a pen. The reason that I like the strips of paper small is because we have one idea per sheet. So you can give it its due, be mindful of this one idea, and then burn that one, rather than having to burn multiple ideas at once. You can give everything its due. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start with a meditation to explore what it is we would like to let go. And after we meditate, we will go to the pieces of paper and write down some of those ideas. After we write down the ideas, we will mindfully burn the slips of paper, releasing their energy into the world. Because thoughts, experiences are really nothing but energy. It's just energy that's happened in your world. So the act of meditating upon those thoughts and sending that energy down your arm and sending that energy through the pen, trapping it on the paper, and then releasing the energy from the paper into the universe is just a beautiful symbol of our commitment to let things go. So this isn't magic, it's just a practice. One of my favorite people in the world said to me, you get good at what you practice. What are you practicing? And he was right about that. And the more that you practice letting things go, the more that you practice being calm in the moment when faced with issues, the better you will get at it in crisis. So I hope you're enjoying the sound of the water behind me. There might be a little bit of rain. There could be people walking by. If it's distracting to you, you can close your eyes or you can just notice. This is just the world. It's the world we live in. And it's as much part of this ceremony as you or I. So let's begin. Take a deep breath and blow it all out. Breathe back in again. Now I want you just to gently close your eyes and notice your breath. Put your focus on your breathing. There's no need to change it. No need to alter it in any way. No judgment of it. Just notice. Focus on that air going in and filling the lungs and going out. And now I want you to envision something. Envision every breath that comes in is a breath of golden light. And that golden light goes into your lungs and it permeates your body. And it scrapes up all of the dark points, the pain, the energy, the challenge, old lessons learned and ready to be discarded. And that breath comes in and warms all of those dark spots up. Then when you exhale, you breathe them out. You release them to the world. Just breathe. You start to feel the top of your head loosen, lengthen, and relax. You feel the muscles around your eyes, teeny tiny muscles in your eyelids, lengthening and relaxing. The muscles in your face getting warm, stretching, dropping. Every breath in releases a little more tension from your neck. Every breath out expels a little more tension from your shoulders. They get longer, looser, more relaxed. Down both your arms. The relaxation creeps down your spine. Down to your hips. They loosen, soften. Your midsection, while it continues to support you, it lets go of stress. And then breathe in down to your legs. That warm light filling up your knees and your thighs, pushing out all the darkness. And now it creeps down your calves and your shins, all the way down to your toes. And now I want you to blow a big breath out, clearing out the rest of all of those dark, matted spots. Now I want you to bring your awareness to your mind. This is an easy place to go in times of struggle. It's where logic lives, where your inner monologue lives, where analysis lives. What does it look like? And now I want you to take another deep breath. And as you exhale, I want you to drop 18 inches down to your heart space. This is the place where you are nothing but you, free of expectations, free of judgment, free of should, free of pain and challenge. You just simply are. This is where you find comfort, security, and the answers to the questions that are burning in your mind. This is a place you can always return to. Complete safety, complete peace. Anytime you're in need of a safe place to go, this is it. What does it look like to you? Are you floating? Are you sitting? Are you walking? Are you dancing? You are you, and you are safe in this space. And now I want you to imagine that your heart space has put a movie projector in front of you, a screen. And what it's going to do is it's going to play in fast forward the movie of your life. And what I want you to do is I want you to watch this movie and don't try to pick up every detail, but pick out the ones that stick out to you as having taught you a lesson about something. If you have negative feelings about the circumstance that taught you that lesson, then you can let those negative feelings go. They're not serving you anymore. That circumstance gave you everything it was supposed to give you if you have learned from it. And now you can let go of guilt, shame, pain, fear, because you don't need it anymore. So take a moment and breathe into that and watch that movie of your life go by as fast as possible. And pick out those moments that stick out to you as pain points and challenges. Now that the movie comes to a close, I want you to put those moments into words, into a short phrase for each moment. What negative feelings are you carrying from those moments that no longer serve you? What negative ideas are you holding on to that are no longer necessary for your growth? And now I want you to take just a moment to write those down on your slips of paper. I'm going to write a couple, and then I will ring the singing bowl to let you know that it is time to move on to the next part of meditation. If you need to pause here and take more time to write down what you plan on writing, then feel free. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Now, normally, if this were not a virtual burning bowl, people would go in a circle and share whatever they felt like sharing. Unfortunately, the coronavirus has kept us from gathering, so you've only got me right now. But if you would like to share anything that you're burning right now, and if you feel like that's a way you want to expel the energy and the power that it has over you, feel free to do so in the comments. I will happily respond. The first idea that I am burning, whose energy I'm going to release into the world. These are going to be backwards. I don't know how to write backwards, but you'll see them. It says embarrassment. For me, embarrassment comes from pride, and not in the good way. Bad pride. I make mistakes. I am who I am. things happen to me. I grow, I change. And being embarrassed means I had an expectation to the contrary for myself. And it's a symbol of what I'm telling myself I should do and what I should be. And that's useless. You can't tell yourself what you should do and what you should be. You just have to embrace what you are. Because there's no better you than you. There's never gonna be a better you than you. And there's no better Whitney Houston than Whitney Houston. Nobody's gonna be her as well as she is. So we have to let go of should and embrace am. So I'm letting go of embarrassment. And I'm taking this paper and I'm burning it. I'm going to let it come down as far as I can stand it, and then I'll drop it into the jar I have here for it to burn the rest of the way. But I am affirming, I release embarrassment from my life. I have learned everything I needed to learn from embarrassment, and now I can let it go. My next one is shame of former self. This is shaming myself for growing. We can't grow unless we start somewhere. You can never be a flower unless you were first a seed. And I think we all spend a lot of time shaming ourselves for having been seeds at one point. But our purpose on this earth is to grow. Everything grows. Everything that has life grows. The universe expands. Stars expand. All energy is expansion. So when I give thought to shame over who I used to be before I expanded to this point, shame expands. Embarrassment expands. They're all kind of tied together. So I am burning being ashamed of former iterations of me. Because growth is the point. I release shame and I invite gratitude for my growth. And now I will drop this in the jar and let it burn out. My last one is guilt for imperfection. Again, it goes back to growth. If we were perfect, we wouldn't need to grow. We would be done. We wouldn't even need to have a life. We would have no lessons to learn, and the universe would know everything about itself. But the nature of humanity is imperfection. The nature of creation is imperfection. Imperfections have to exist in order for perfecting forces to matter. And love is a perfecting force. Joy is a perfecting force. Gratitude's a perfecting force. And if we're not imperfect, we have no room for them. That's a Taoist principle, actually, in the Tao Te Ching. I wish I could quote it directly, but it was consider the bowl. The bowl's usefulness is in its emptiness. If the bowl were full, it could not collect anything, and then it would no longer be useful. Humanity is the same way. Our souls are the same way. Our function is in our emptiness and in what we can take in and grow from. Not what we already have done, and not what we already know. Reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Carl Sagan. He said, "The enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge." So yes, I'm imperfect. I have been imperfect many times in my life, and I have specific incidences in mind here. This isn't just a platitude. There are specific incidences in mind where I guilt myself for having been imperfect. And I have learned everything I needed to learn from those situations. I accept the lessons, I honor the lessons, and now I let it go and release it into the universe. guilt per imperfection, burning right up, right there. Burn, baby, burn. I'm gonna drop it in the jar. Now, if you're wondering what's going to happen to all of these ashes, I don't think that you should throw them in the garbage. I think you should return them to the earth. Because ashes are what is left. It's the residue of what we have burned. It did not all release into the air. There are ashes. And do we want the ashes of guilt in our house? Do we want the ashes of shame in our house? In our garbage? No. Our garbage cannot clean them away from us, but Mother Earth can. So take your ashes when you are finished, and I plan on taking mine right out here and mindfully releasing them, returning them to the earth. And trusting that our universe will absorb and repurpose all of that energy for the greater good. So if you have more papers to burn, you can pause the video now and take your time and just mindfully release them. Watch the smoke go up into the air as the energy from these ideas dissipates and is no longer in your heart or your mind or your spirit. I am going to continue with the ceremony. So if you would like to pause now. I will take a sip of water and give you an opportunity. All right. Now that we have released these energies, these challenging moments that we learned from and no longer need, it's time to show gratitude for the lessons that we have learned and to decide what energies will take the place of the energies we just released. It's no sense cleaning a room while you're messing it up at the same time. There's no sense in that. There's no sense in washing a dish in dirty water. We need to recognize the space that these energies have left behind in their departure and resolve with ourselves what we would like to fill that space with. I like to do that by saying, I welcome. I welcome gratitude. I welcome confidence. I welcome self-love. I welcome forgiveness. I welcome freedom. And I am so grateful for every lesson I have been taught in this life. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to release these energies back into the world for greater use. Now let's just breathe. Go back to your mind. Observe it. And now drop down into that heart space, that safe haven of pure authenticity. And I want you to take a moment to look at yourself as you are now, having cleansed yourself of these energies. And I want you to show yourself gratitude. I want you to thank your body for carrying you through this world. And we thank the air we breathe and the universe for providing it. And now I want you to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and silently resolve yourself to carry this feeling of freedom forward into your life, into your world. because it's yours to access. Move your shoulders. Bring awareness to the chair. Bring awareness to your posture, to my voice, and gently open your eyes. I have to do it gently because I have a ring light. And now take your cinnamon or your sage or whatever cleansing bits you may or may not have. Oh, we got some duck action going on back here. Cool. I love the wildlife here. It's amazing. Here we are. My cinnamon is burning. Consider me sending this to you to cleanse all of the energies you just released, any residuals, anything left over, all around you. Cleanse the space. And now I'll ring the singing bowl to let the sound further cleanse the space. Big breath in and blow out. And don't forget to return your ashes to Mother Earth. If that's your thing, I think it works. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for taking care of yourself. It's harder than people think. And the fact that you are sitting here in this moment, who you are right now, is a person who cares about spreading peace in the world, is a person who cares about living peace, living love, and releasing that which no longer serves. That's who you are. Who you were in the past has no bearing on the moment, because the present is where we live. And in the present, you've just done something wonderful for yourself and the world. So thank you.